Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I'm asking you again, how are you doing? Why again? Because this morning we start the usual video, the one about the Italian and international papers to see what they are saying about our beloved Juventus. If you didn't watch it yet, you will click in here and you will be redirected and then you come back on this video or you just continue and after that you can go back. Maximum of like, don't forget, and I'm really asking you because these likes, it costs you nothing, but it helps me doing the channel a lot, really a lot in terms of exposure and so on. If you didn't yet, subscribe to the channel. Now I want to speak about something else, about something that I was really waiting for since more than 50 days. I'm speaking about the squad list, the first one of the year. No, not the first one of the season, because the season already started since the 15th of August. Now we are the 3rd of January, the first one of the new year. And they are really important, the squad list. Don't underestimate the squad list, because they are revealing a lot of secrets already. And we will try to understand what are the good secrets, the bad secrets, but especially how can we potentially play tomorrow versus Cremonese. Because Cremonese, there are no excuses. 3 points oblige for Juventus, for the Bianconeri, to take them there in Cremona, in their stadium, and take them back with the train to Torino. That's super important. We have to start with a win. The last time that we played an official game versus Cremonese in Serie A was in 1996. We did 3-3 in their home. Attenzione, I don't want the same result. I absolutely don't want the same result. So what are they saying? This squad list, well, they are saying some good, some bad news. So let's go role by role to understand it. The first good news is, of course, the goalkeepers. The 3 of them are there. Szczesny, Perin, and Pinsoglio. Why is it a good news? Because we were doubting about the possibility of Szczesny being in the squad because of his neck problem versus Standard de Liège. He is there. Why is it a good news? Because at least Allegri, he will have the opportunity to choose between Perin, between Pinsoglio, and between Szczesny. Szczesny can potentially rest and be ready for Udinese, or he can start, whatever. At least we have some choices there, and this is the best thing. The second thing that is catching my eye is that we have only 22 players. Enough players, attenzione, enough. It's not that we have 10 players or 11, no, we have 22. We have some options. But anyway, 22 is a short list. It's not like 25 or even more. Why? Because of some injuries, and we all know about them. Anyway, 22, the second thing, or the third thing that is catching my eyes is that we have 2 young players, Barrenechea and Barbieri. Let's start with the defenders. Well, the 3 Brazilians are there, Bremer, Danilo, Alexandro, which is a good news. They participated in the World Cup. They already played a friendly with us and they are there. Then we have Gatti, Rugani, and Barbieri. Bonucci is not there. It's not a newness. Let's skip that part. Well, Barbieri, he already played 1 official game with Juventus, 2 minutes versus Paris Saint-Germain. A player that has the possibility to play on the right, on the left back, right back, but also as a right winger. And having Barbieri there in that list is confirming us that we have some problems on the right side. You don't need to be a genius to understand it, to see it. Quadrado is not there. De Sciglio is not there. We have a problem on the right side. We know it. Well, Barbieri is receiving a calling up. He played the 3 friendlies versus Arsenal from the beginning of the game. He played versus Rijeka and also versus Standard de Liège, where he impressed a lot of people that were not knowing him a lot. He's offering that solution to Max. Will he start or not? Let's speak about that a bit later in the video. But Barbieri, it's a really good news to have him there in that squad list. We go to the midfielders because that's one of the biggest surprises. We have Paredes and we have Barrenechea. Paredes, none of us were expecting to see him there. We were not even thinking that we would have a lot of Argentinians. Maybe only 1. Sule. Well, instead we have 3. But not Di Maria. We have Paredes and Barrenechea, adding them with Sule. Paredes is a good news. He arrived on the 2nd of January yesterday. Today he's already in the train traveling to Cremona because he wants to be there with the team. Will he play? I highly doubt it. But at least we are showing a message that the players that are there and able, we need them to be there with the team to at least give some opportunities on the bench. Because today Allegri said in press conference, the subs will be super important. Well, Paredes is making part of the team until the end of the season. We'll have to count on him. He will need to gain the trust again for all the Juventini, because in that first part, he didn't really convince. was more out than in, and when he was playing, except of having a fantastic pass accuracy, well, except of that, we didn't see a lot. So it's time to start showing it. Will he be able to do it? Probably not on the field, but on the bench, yes. Well, why am I not surprised? Because if Barrenechea is there, it means that we have 8 midfielders. That's a lot. 8 midfielders with probably 3 that will start. 8 midfielders. That means that Allegri, he will not go towards 4-man defense. He will continue with a 3-man defense, or maybe 4-3-3, who knows, but not absolutely not 2-man midfield. Otherwise, you have too many midfielders. So we already know that we play with 3 midfielders. You know that Barrenechea played all the friendlies and Paredes not, you have more likely the possibility to see Barrenechea entering in second half more than Paredes. But at least Paredes, we are launching him a message. You are there. You come with us. And that's already a great one. Locatelli will start tomorrow. That's no doubt. Rabiot is there, and that's already good. Who is missing, of course, in the midfield? It is Pogba, but we already knew about Paul Pogba. Then, roles between Miretti and Fagioli, we will discover it. What about the wings? Super important. Quadrado is not there. De Sciglio is not there. A lot of people were expecting Marley Ake to start because he was also the one that was chosen to play versus Standard de Liège. Well, Marley Ake is out, and that's one of the bad news. Why? Because it can say a lot of things. Is it because of injury? No, because he has been called up with the next gen under 23. So that means that he's able to play, but probably he didn't convince in that 3-5-2 role. The last time that he played from the first minute, and it was the only time that he played from the first minute, was versus Fiorentina in Coppa Italia last year. 3-5-2. He didn't convince. He was tested versus Standard de Liège. He didn't convince again. Not ready? Is it because of his injury? Does he need to have some minutes in his leg? Can be. But you also have an option too to keep in mind. He could possibly go on loan. So Marley, will we still see him in January with the first team? Big question mark there. What about Di Maria? Di Maria, we are speaking now about the offensive side before the great, fantastic news. Well, Di Maria is out. Why? Because they are reporting some contusion at his ankle. Is it a new injury? We don't know. Is it something that is taking and carrying back from the World Cup? Because we know that at the World Cup he didn't play all the games. We don't know. I know one thing, that yesterday in the hello messages on social media, he didn't look really in form, in shape, or with a lot of energy. I don't know why. Is it an old one and he needs a bit of time? Maybe. Let's see. But Romeo Agresti, Fabiano Della Valle are saying it's because of his ankle problem. And that's already a bad news, because if some of us were counting or waiting for Di Maria to be there at least versus Udinese, let's see when he will heal, because Udinese will be right after the game of Cremonese, because we were playing this weekend versus Udinese in our stadium. So let's hope that Di Maria can be back. Anyway, Di Maria or not, we have a great news. It's Federico Chiesa. Federico Chiesa will be there. And this is a fantastic news confirmed this morning by Max Allegri. He said the subs will be super important. That's why we have 8 midfielders. That's why Federico Chiesa is also traveling with the team, because he can potentially enter and change a game. We know it. When Federico Chiesa is entering, especially in games like Cremonese, Monza, these games that can, be quite boring on a 0-0. Well, Federico Chiesa, he has one ability, and none of the other players has that ability. Maybe Pogba, but Federico Chiesa even more is entering and giving not only all the people in the stand, but also the players that confidence, that motivation, that extra boost, like andiamo ragazzi. And that's why I can't wait to see tomorrow Federico Chiesa entering that game. Sule, can he potentially start in a 3-5-2 at seconda punta as a second striker with Milik on the bench? Attenzione, attenzione, ideas that I have. So how can we play tomorrow? Well, we have to pay attention to the left side of the field, not our left side, but their left side, because they have, the right side, their right side, our left side, because they have 2 players, Sersanti and Okereke, that are quite strong. I watched the 3 last games of Cremonese. A lot of time when they are playing offensively, they go on their right side, our left side. So pay attention. Alexandro, will he start or not? Or maybe Danilo will play there. In a 3-5-2, Danilo on the left, Bremer in the middle, Gatti on the right side with Alexandro resting, because that has been quite nearly confirmed by Max, saying not the three of the Brazilian will start. And then on the right side you have Barbieri with Kostic on the left. Paying attention to Sersanti, that is always trying to be available there on that side of the field. Could be Rabiot, Fagioli, Locatelli, Barbieri, Kostic, and up front you have two players, Soule and Moiskin. Could be. Why not? Because that would be a big sign also from Max to say these youngsters that we have, we continue to give them a chance. Not only in friendlies, not only on the bench, not only to change the game, but maybe also to start doing things from the beginning of the game. Why not? Or will he go really conservative with, again, Weston McKennie as a kind of right winger, changing, going towards a 4-4-2? Big questions I have. Big answers I'm expecting, but one thing I will be sure about is that I want and we want the 3 points. Maximum of like, thank you for subscribing to the channel, grazie, forza, Juve.